Welcome to Heaven Flow.
I got a call one day to be a part of Hope, Lutheran Church of Hope's Christmas Eve service at Wells Fargo. This is Wells Fargo, right? This is the biggest stage in the city. Anyways, Des Moines come to a place where now we're starting to get bigger acts coming in. 10 years ago, that didn't happen. You know, we're growing. There's people moving to our city from other states, you know, to work. It's one of the fastest growing cities in the nation, has been for the last 10 years, and we're continually growing. And so I said, if all this stuff's happening around me in my city, I gotta continue to grow as well and not stay stagnant. And I don't wanna be that person to look back and say, man, I should have done this, I should have did it. You know, I'm stepping out there and putting myself out there, putting my faith out there through my music. So when I got the call, I was just like blown away, and I was like, well, absolutely, I'll perform, you know? It's Wells Fargo Arena. So it was a song that wasn't mine. It was a Christian song by Toby Mac called Light Shine Bright. And my experience with Lesson 7 actually, I give credit to that, because I was able to walk into rehearsals and kind of fit in, because I had been in that type of arena before where you're trying to learn somebody else's song, and you're with people, and the guitar player's trying to learn the guitar riff, the drummer's trying to learn the the drum, and and us as vocalists, we're trying to remember lyrics. So I had probably a couple of days to kind of get comfortable. Walked into rehearsals, knocked it out, had another rehearsal, and then the day came. 5 in the morning, I wake up. They told me I had to be at Wells Fargo. 5 in the morning. I'm like, 5 in the morning. I got there at 5 in the morning, and you would have thought they'd have been. Yeah, they probably had been there since midnight. I mean, everything was set up. Everybody's working. You thought they'd been there all night, all night. I get there, production, stage, all the arena. You're on the floor, and you're like, wow, this is really about to happen. And all you're thinking is, please don't mess up. You know what I mean? Like, just seeing the professionalism and how a true main event production goes down in music, I was able to experience that. Everything that I had dreamed of, my dream came true that day. That's every artist's dream, to get up on stage in an arena in front of 16,000 people. Not once, but not twice, but 3 times I had to do it. Actually, I did it a total of 5 times, because I rehearsed it twice, and then we had to do it live 3 times in front of 16,000 people. And going back to, I thank God, that was God's house. He gave that to me directly. Said, here, son, come in my home. I want you to perform and show off what you've been doing for the last 15 years. I've noticed. Maybe others, maybe your city's still trying to come along. Maybe your family, your friends, or whoever. But I've noticed the best experience of my life, hands down, after having my daughter born. Then I get another call. Easter's coming up. Hope's, big on production and big on making things big. And again, I've been called on to do a spoken word video for Easter, and that's what I'm here. We're sitting here at Hope right now, and over the weekend, it's just, again, an amazing opportunity to be given, and it's just another validation that I am on the right path, and God is working through me with my music. So now I've been given another opportunity through Hope. Easter weekend's here, and it's a big production. Every Easter they have the greatest service. I remember one Easter service 2 years ago, I was literally bawling. I mean, it was such a great service, and now I've been asked to be a part of that. I was a part of Christmas Eve at Wells Fargo, and now they're asking me to do something that I can bring to the table. So this time I'm not singing somebody else's songs. They asked me to write something. And so that's taking it to a whole nother level, right? It's like, okay, they didn't give me any parameters. They just said, hey, do your thing. And obviously it's Easter. I know what Easter's all about. So, and I just get blocked. I just get, writer's block instantly, because of nerves. This is going to be the probably the most meaningful, important piece I've ever written in my career, and it's going to be broadcast to hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people throughout the state of Iowa, and probably more than that. This was a big deal, Sat down, tried to write it. couldn't think of anything. And I said, after a day or so of that, I said, you know what, Brian, just relax. This is what you do. This is what you have done. Let God work through you, and let him think of the words, and he'll give them to you. And once I relaxed and said my prayer, and I went home that night, and it all came to me, and I wrote it, and it was amazing. I texted Perry like instantly that night, like 11:30. I'm sure he was asleep. It's like, I got it. You're gonna love it. And then he texted me that next morning. It was like, great, send it over. So myself and Pastor Mike can listen to it. I was like, oh my God. So I sent it over, and anxiously waited for the reply back. It didn't take them too long, maybe a couple hours. And when they replied back and said they loved it, I said they absolutely loved it, and they were excited, and the rest is history. So I'm looking to build off of this and to really, extend myself musically and learn more about Christian hip hop and Christian music. And I've been listening to it a lot for like the last year on the radio, so I understand how the concepts and how they're putting the songs together, and because at first when you think of Christian music, you just think like Jesus, but it's just real life. It's just life. It doesn't always have to be Jesus in every song. It could just be about a struggle, and that's what that's why I said feel good music. It doesn't have to always be Jesus. There's a hip hop artist, NF. He's a Christian hip hop artist, and he's on 107 FM. And I don't even think people know he's a Christian hip hop artist because he talks about his struggles. But he's a Christian hip hop artist. There are people like him in the world that can relate to what he's going through. There are people like me and other people like me in the world, and they can relate to what I'm going through. So I feel like if there's something that I'm going through, there's got to be somebody else going through that. And that's music. What would we do without music? It's been an amazing ride these last 3 years, from 15 to 18 now. When the Ball campaign started, to when I figured out Heaven Flow was going to be the album, until now converting over to a Christian artist and being proud of it, and happy to say that. I got people who Facebook me. I got a friend that I grew up with, and he reached out to me, said, Brian, I've listened to your music, it's amazing. All I listen to is Christian music. He was just surprised that it was me, because we hadn't seen each other since middle school. He just told me, like, your music has meaning, and he just encouraged me to keep doing it, and that I really had something special. So that just meant a lot to me, and I get things like that all the time from people, and it's tough because in Des Moines, it's a great place to raise a family. That's why I came back home. So it gets easy to kind of fall back into life and not want to do anything. So I have to, go to my source, my host, to get that energy, to continue to move on and do what he's called me to do. So now that I've come to an understanding of who I am as an artist, which has taken me this last year, is taking people to ask me that question, are you a Christian hip hop artist? It's taking me the spoken word that I did. One of the things that I said is access Jesus for life or eternity. But as humans, we run away from him in a hurry. See, and that's what I say. Even though I was saying heaven flow, at the same time I wasn't totally connected and accepting of what I was trying to put out there in myself, and that wasn't right. And so now that I've come to grips of it's okay, to sit here and to proclaim my faith, because there's probably somebody else right now sitting there struggling with something, whether it's speaking out about whatever or this topic. I just encourage you, whatever it is that you're passionate about, to be passionate about it out loud. You know what I mean? And that's where I'm at now. I want to continue to inspire others, give hope, give faith, and let people know that yes, this is life, and it's not peaches and roses all the time. There's going to be, storms and blizzards and hurricanes, and you know, you're gonna feel like at sometimes like you just don't have the answers. But just know that God's always working. He has a plan. Sometimes we give the devil too much credit. Sometimes we say, oh, the devil did this. Sometimes it's not the devil. Sometimes it's God putting that obstacle in front of you to see what you're going to do. That's what I'm here to do, is just inspire people, bring hope, faith, love, happiness, peace with my music. And that's what Brian Clark Music's all about. That was good.